Enough with the clickbait. Enough with the rumors. You want the latest metal news, real news, served raw and unfiltered? Then you need Metalheads podcast. No bull, just the riffs, the releases, and the rage. Tune in live every Friday at 10 p.m. on NPR or dig into the archives and the latest headlines at riffwiremag.com. Get your horns up and welcome to Metalheads with Riffwire Radio.
G'day, we're talking with Daniel from the band Katatonia. They're coming down under on October the 4th, 2026. You must be excited about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're out on tour for the new album right now, and we love touring Australia, so I can't wait to be back.
Oh, I'm down in New Zealand, so we're even more excited to have you over here.
Oh yeah, I've never been to New Zealand with Kat, so that's going to be super exciting.
Excellent. So you released the new album not so long ago, Nightmares and Extensions of Waking Life. How's that been going? How's the reception been so far on the tour?
The reception's been really great. It's always fun to see audiences react to new material being played live, and they're reacting really well, I think. So it's been a hoot.
Yeah, have you been playing many songs from the new album on the tour, or is it just like one or two?
No, since the album release, since the festival season, we've been rotating all of the singles, and now we're doing a couple more. So we're trying to cover as much ground as possible with the new material. So that's good.
Oh, no, that's excellent. People will be excited to hear that. You released was it two singles off the last album?
Three even.
Three in the end, yeah. Sorry. Could you tell us a little bit about them?
Well, it's like with most Cat albums, the new album is a kind of a slow burner, and it was super difficult selecting the singles for the album. So when we started off with Lilac being the first single, we didn't really know which way to go with that. It's a fairly progressive song, a fairly angular song, but it still represents the album very well. And the same with Temporal and Wind of No Change. They're also a bit very different from each other, but they still represent the entirety of the album very well. So I think we, in the end, made a good call with those songs.
Excellent. So could you tell us a little bit about the writing and recording process and how you guys work?
Well, the writing process is like it usually is with this band. Jonas is currently writing the bulk of the material. I would say 95% of the material is written by him. And then when the rest of the band gets a hold of it, we start making it our own. You know, I start making the drum parts my own, and same with the guitar parts and bass parts. We start melding it to what later will become Katatonia. And that continues then into the recording process. We did the drums in an old church right north of Stockholm. A very, very nice environment, very nice room. And then we did the guitars in our own studio in Stockholm, like we usually do. And the end result, I think, is, well, obviously, I would think it's the best Katatonia album to date, but I also think that the sound and the production of the album and mixing by Adam Noble, everything really makes this album pop in our discography. And it feels less like a metal album and more like a rock album of sorts. But that's kind of how I see Katatonia as a band as well. We're not necessarily metal, we're not necessarily prog, we're not doom, we're not this or that. We're just making dark music, and hopefully everything, all the circumstances around us making that will then present in the final form that is the album. And I think for this album we did very, very well from the writing to the release and the artwork and everything. And I think that's also what we're trying to bring on this tour, which is the first headline tour we're doing for the album. We're trying to just up up the game a bit, um, so that we're not just stuck in the same kind of rut we've been stuck in for the last decade or so. We're trying to up the game a bit, and yeah, just trying to bring the rock, I guess.
Oh no, that's excellent. So you said you recorded it in the church. Was that like something that you'd done before, or was that the first time sort of trying that out for this album?
It was the first time trying it out. We had a couple of studios in mind for tracking drums, but eventually settled on the church. It's run by a guy who was he was basically responsible for the Swedish black metal sound of the third wave, I guess. He's done Mayhem, Vatane, stuff like that, and it's his studio in that old church. So that also gave a bit of a vibe, you know. I mean,
Hmm.
we're all obviously extreme metal fans, so just just being in the right setting does bring out different vibes and different moods. So it always helps to not just be in like a studio where we're recording, but this is something else entirely, and that helps.
So did you take your own personal drum kit there to do that, or did they have one
Oh yeah.
provided for you?
No, I brought my personal kit, and it's the same kit I have on tour with me now as well.
Oh, no, that's excellent. So, how does the music come to you? Do you just like hear rhythms in your head, or how does it work? Do you like hear the music and then you just find things to go with it, or how does it work for you?
For Katatonia, it's Jonas writes the music and he also writes the drum parts.
Okay.
Not all of them, but he writes um, the skeleton parts for all the songs, and then he writes some embellishments that he really. I mean, he's a drummer originally as well, so he has some really interesting ideas that I wouldn't necessarily have. But building on that, I've I played a lot of guitar when I was a kid. Like I played guitar for a decade. I was fairly good at it. So I hear drum parts and I hear where to put my things based on the guitars. So I listen to the music and then find details to push. I find some syncopation to elevate. I find stuff in the riffs that I want to elaborate on with my drumming. So that's kind of how I weave together all my fills and all my rhythms and all the underlying trickiness that we're playing around with. So I basically listen to everything else that's happening, and also where if something's not happening, if there's a piece of quiet that could be enhanced with some ghost notes or uh, cymbal hit or whatever, it just melds together into a big puzzle instead of it just being beats and parts like A to B, B to C. It's more of I try to see it more of a musical adventure from the first beat to the last. It's not necessarily just the same stuff, same fills, same kind of patterns repeated. I I do like to like enhance on the previous part or like build around that. And that comes from just listening to what else is happening in the music.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting because I mean, like a lot of people hear music differently, and I mean, like yeah, some people are very much drum people or bass types, sort of a rhythm type thing, and then other people are guitar and vocals. I mean, like the way I listen to music is I always hear the guitar and the vocals before I. I'm not really into well, not so much not into it, but I don't hear the bass and the drums in the same way. Um, and it's really interesting to hear that you hear the guitars sort of at the forefront like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then when we start working on the songs for a live setting, that's when I hit like the 100% of the song, which is the song 2.0, if you will. So
Mm.
I when I prepare for a session, I usually make the album version 1. That's only for the album. That's what the album needs, that's what the song needs, and what the audience needs to hear when they listen to it on the radio. They don't need to hear all the intricate fills or all that. They just need the song.
Mm.
And then when we start working on it for a live setting, that's when I start turning things around, and that's when me and Nicholas, the bass player, really start gelling, because we start finding stuff that we want to change for the live setting. So we're playing around with different syncopation, different sort of approach to some breakdowns and stuff, because we start hearing the music differently when we play it together, because we don't rehearse before recording, like we don't rehearse together as a band. So when we start working on it for stage, that's when the song grows to the next level, and that's when it starts becoming the finished product for me, at least. So that's the most interesting process of every song for me, working on it for live, and also working on it during tour, because some songs are changing during a tour. Specifically, this first tour for the new album, I'm experiencing that some songs are different today than they were week 1, because we're growing into them. We're growing into the patterns and the beats and everything, and we'll just start playing around with it. And eventually we settle on something that really feels good, and that might differ away a fair bit from the album version. But that isn't that important really, because the album is already released. It's already out there. What we're doing now is something new. So that's the most exciting part for me.
So, do you guys track the evolution of your music? And I mean, because it sounds like you say you have the recorded version, and then as you take it into the live setting, it almost takes a whole new twist on it, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does. I'm not entirely sure that it's audible for everyone, but our
Mm.
approach to songs will be so different when we're on stage. So the a song like, let's say, Wind of No Change, that's obviously a slow song. It's kind of doomy. It has this bombastic chorus, um, but live it kind of feels different in a way. It isn't that black and white as the album version is. It's more of a living thing. And then you have some songs that are very groovy on the album, but for live we feel that, okay, this super groovy part on the album, this might be better if we just rein it in a bit and have it be less groovy and more angular, and just give it more attack. So that sounds different and feels different for us. So it it's tricky to explain, I guess. I guess you'll just have to come see us live.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, it must make things a whole lot more interesting as well, because I mean, after living with the tracks for quite some time during the recording process, I mean, it can get a little bit stagnant, and so you're almost like breathing new life into all the music.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we also because we're not rehearsing the songs before the recording, or not as a unit, not as a band. The process of recording is really it kind of feels fresh already, because I
Mm.
get the songs from Jonas. I start working on them for a couple of months before hitting the studio, but it's just I most of the stuff I already know how to play. So it's not like I'm practicing. It's more like I'm trying to um, immerse myself in the songs and just try to basically eat and breathe the music. So when I hit recording, I'm just playing. It's not a huge undertaking. It's just go in, play the songs, and make them groove, and that's the album version. That's fine. And then when we start working on the first stage, it's like it's an entirely new thing.
Mm.
We already have the songs on tape, but we've never worked with them before as a unit, so that becomes like a totally fresh breath of air. So we're not
Okay.
even tired of the songs yet. We're excited to play them.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
eh? It must make the whole going out on tour a whole lot more fun as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like working with a new songs and then bringing them on stage and seeing the audience reactions. That's yeah, that's one of the best feelings in the world, really.
Excellent. So what's your most the thing you enjoy most about tour life?
Oh, just being on stage, seeing a good crowd, seeing their faces light up when we play new material and old material, of course, and yeah, just watching people enjoy a song like Thrice, but and then also watching them go crazy when we play leaders. It's they're equally exciting things to see. So it's just amazing.
Yeah. Oh no, that's absolutely brilliant. So your first recollections of music, what was it that first made you want to become a musician?
My first memory of music was hearing a song called Apache, a guitar song.
I know the song.
Um, it was in the mid 80s, I think. I wasn't too old, and it was. I don't think I realized what music was, but I had this feeling that whatever I'm feeling when I'm listening to this, I need to chase that feeling. So after that, I just became more and more interested in just hearing stuff, listening to stuff and listening for stuff. And then in the late 80s, I became more interested in like hard rock, heavy metal, um, mopey melodies, mopey harmonies, just moody stuff, you know. And then
Mm.
obviously within a very short time span, it was all metal. It was all death metal. And it haven't stopped since.
That's awesome. Was your family very musical?
My my parents weren't, but I have a half brother who lives in LA who was a kind of a guitar hero in the late 80s. So and he's always been a big inspiration for me. So uh, he was in a band called Shotgun Messiah, if you
Oh
ever
yeah.
heard of them.
Yeah,
So
I've heard of them.
yeah, so he was always a big inspiration for me. So I guess I would say yes and no maybe.
Yeah, oh, that's really, really cool. So who would be heroes and inspirations? You've already touched on your brother there, but who else has been your heroes and inspirations? Because obviously you would be a lot of not just drummers, would it?
No, I mean, since I played guitar so much when I was a kid, I have very many guitarists as influences, both like metal guitarists and also like fusion guitarists. My brother Harry being one of them, of course, and then people like Mike Stern. I was a huge Mike Stern fan in the mid 90s. Um, but like, and a bunch of shredders, obviously. Red Beach, I loved Red Beach playing. Old Paul Gilbert stuff. Um, but all for drumming, I think my biggest inspirations back then and now would be Sean Reinert from Cynic and Death, Commando from Morbid Angel, Mick Harris from Nickel and Death, Snowy Shaw, who played with King Diamond, Merciful Fate, and Memento Mori. I also had the pleasure of playing with Snowy like 20 years ago. So that was a good treat. I learned a lot from him. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it would have been real
really
cool.
people who do more with music than just their own instruments. People that push the boundaries and come up with new stuff, you know.
Yeah. So is it just drums and guitar that you play, or is there other instruments you play as well?
No, it's only drums and guitar. I know my way around the piano very a basic level, but that's because I learned it in school. But yeah, only guitar and drums.
Oh, that's still pretty cool. That's awesome. So what are you currently listening to?
Currently, oh God, what am I listening to? I'm on tour, so not much. I've been really into uh, like some slam bands. The new some peeling flesh stuff is has been rotating, and obviously older stuff like Broad Quinn, Disgorge, Devourment, stuff like that. I don't know. It feels weird to be in a slam death period when you're on tour with Cat, but here we are.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta have something to sort of give you a little extra boot.
Oh yeah,
So, do you do much in the way of warm-ups and all that sort of stuff, or do you have any like rituals before you play?
I try to give myself an hour of just practice pad warm-ups just to get my hands and fingers going, you know. It's nothing, I don't have a set routine for that. We mostly just listen to music backstage.
Mm.
We have a like a big playlist that we shuffle, and I just play along to that just to get the blood going for my fingers, hands, and arms. And then some light stretching, not too much. And yeah, just try to have an hour to chill basically before a show,
Mm.
shower, uh, smell nice, get ready for show, and then yeah, just rock and roll.
Excellent. So, when you're off the road and at home, do you have much of a practice regime, or do you sort of study much to learn new techniques and things?
I mean, I wish I did. It's I don't really. I sometimes get into like get fixated on I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna spend a month learning like these African rhythms or whatever, and I will, and then I won't just play drums for 4 months because I really shitty at practicing. So I usually just play whenever I'm getting ready for some cat shows. If we're rehearsing as a band or if I'm rehearsing to get ready for a festival season or whatever, that's usually when I try to get my practicing in. But it's yeah, I I think I should practice more. I think people should practice more. Everyone who's listening to this, go practice, go play drums, because I won't. So I'm a really shitty advocate for being a musician. I don't. I wish I would practice more. I wish I would be a better spokesperson for drumming, but I don't know, man. I'm too old. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. So, your drum kit that you have, are you like, what sort of drum kit is it?
I'm currently playing a Tama. It's a walnut kit from the Star series, and I've had it for a decade now. I had it on the City Burials album as well, and I've and on Nightmares, and I've had it on a couple of tours as well. And it's a beautiful kit, fairly standard setup with some. Well, yeah, it's fairly standard, and it's not a big kit, so it's perfectly suited for what we're doing and what I'm doing outside of Cat.
Oh no, that's real cool. So, getting down to New Zealand, do you get any much time off and get to stay in New Zealand for any amount of time, or is it just straight over to Australia? Or
I think it's pretty much just straight on traveling. I think we're doing something right before flying into New Zealand and then just flying off. So sadly, not too much time off. I would have loved to have some time, obviously. I've never been, like I said,
mm.
and yeah, whatever I know of New Zealand, it does feel like a place you need more than a day in.
You sure do. We're very lucky. It's a beautiful country, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're playing in Auckland, which is at the top of the country, and it's a nice city. So you should have lots of fun there. And if you get a chance, it's not too far from Matamata, which is where they've got the Lord of the Rings Hobbiton. So
Oh yeah.
that's always a place that lots of people love to go visit and sort of because it's in the countryside, it's sort of it's perfect for it. So yeah, But no, that's cool. Okay, so I've got one last question for you before we let you go, and that is
Yep.
words of advice for young musicians.
Play drums. Don't listen to me. Don't do what I do, or don't play drums. No, but really, just play music. Play whatever you feel like playing. Do not get caught in a hole of, oh, I'm gonna be this kind of drummer, so I'm gonna focus on these drummers and these bands and these albums because I want to be like them. You won't. If you want to play really fast death metal, you need to play some doom. You need to listen to the first Cathedral album. You need to listen to Winter. If you want to be a doom metal player, you need to listen to old fusion like Mahavishnu Orchestra. I don't know why. I don't know why, but it helps with everything from timing to like dynamics, everything. If you only focus on being the greatest tech death drummer in the world, I mean, good for you, man, but I don't know. You
Yeah.
you need variety. And also if you want to be really good at something, do something else. If you want to be really good at cooking, learn how to do dishes or not something. You need some counteracting to what you're doing. Like I said, I'm a shitty advocate for music. I don't know how to do it. I've just been doing it, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be doing it still. So